Hello, it's me, Joe, and as I promised, I'll be coming out with more videos, and also, like I promised also, I'll start the topic on a chronological of the human age, right? So the first episode I talk about is the purpose of life, and now I want to start about sex and gender, right? And before I move on to the topic, I'd like to apologize if I do speak out in a lot of grammatical error, and I'd like to apologize if I use too many filler words and too many awkward pauses. And last but not least, I'd like to apologize if I have my facts wrong, or if my opinion differs a lot compared to yours. I do look forward if you spot anything that you feel like saying it out. I do look forward in the comment section. You're free to talk, free to discuss. All right. And here's the thing. Where should I start? Okay, here's the thing. To start this topic on, I like to differentiate between the two, sex and gender. A lot of people get confused with this. Sex is more of a biological stuff, and gender is more of an identity stuff. Sex is you can apply sex on animals, right? So you say there's a male spider, there's a female spider, there's a male horse, there's a female horse. Then you can apply it to even human, right? There's a Asian male, there's a Asian female. But gender you can't apply to animal. Gender is a man and a woman. There's a lot of criteria. There's an identity thing. There's a characteristic in it. So it's different. It's more psychological. Alright, it's not biological, it's more psychological. So along the line, we do have an issue where people can identify themselves as a different gender. So here goes to what I want to say it out, and especially in the Malaysia context where we are very sensitive to this topic. But I felt that this topic we need to address in order for us to live as a proper society. We need to understand each other, and we need to discuss. Not to be angry, not to be agitated, not to criticize one another. And I hate discrimination against one another. So we shouldn't do that, but we should discuss. So it's psychologically, there are cases where a man identifies himself as a woman, and a woman identifies himself as a man, right? It is possible. It's scientifically possible to identify. Again, I highlight the word identify because it's psychological. But you can't disprove a biological fact that because your body is embedded with female chromosomes, right? The XX. You can't say that you have male genitals. You can't. So that's the male organ of you. You don't have it, right? You can't say that. It's just as the same argument. You can't identify yourself as an 80 years old. You can't identify yourself as 3 years old, and you become a 3 years old, right? You can't say that you're Caucasian when you're Asian. Or same goes to, you can't say you're Caucasian and then you are actually an Asian. Something like that. You just can't. You can't change the nature of biology. But you can. As a psychology, you can. There's nothing wrong. It's psychological. It's what you believe in. But if you look at a biological trait, there's no way to prove it. There's no way to alter it. So that's my thought on it. And what's more, why do I start up this topic is that in recent news I heard that some parents identify their kids, a young toddler kids, in a certain gender already. For example, the kid, they identify the kid as a female when actually the kid is a male. So that's the problem. I felt that, how can we do? Are we right to actually identify our children, especially at a very young age? You see, there is no problem. You always have a right to identify yourself. Nobody can stop you, right? You can have the right to think whoever you want to be, but I think there is an element of knowing your biological existence. So you need to know whether you can't disprove saying that even though you're a man, you believe that you're a female trapped in a man body, you can't say that you have a chromosome of XX. Sorry, you can't. You just can't. So I'd like to leave this in the comment below section. The question is, do parents have the right to identify their own children? Do parents have the right to allow their children to identify themselves? So comment below, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.